All right.
Okay. All right, before we get started, once again, we're just gonna take a roll call, make sure that we have a quorum and stuff for today's meeting. All right, welcome once again to the November 2024 REMSCO meeting. And then we'll get started after that.
Charles Mack,
Here,
Todd Hagen,
here,
Tom Devaney is here, Chris Airy,
here,
James Amelia,
here.
James Ingenian,
Here.
Frank DeBovis, Mark Vitale,
Sure.
Barry Rigney,
Here.
Robin Trott,
Yeah.
Christy Metropoulos,
Present.
Thomas Dufree, Daniel Leibowitz, Keith Wiegand,
Here.
Don Hudson,
Here.
Edward Waldron,
Here.
Frank Chester.
Here.
Dia Velasco.
Here.
Karen Braun, Suzanne Beesman, Andy Simone, Nancy Fisher, Dr. Tamara Bloom, Carolyn Kelly, Rob Finio,
Here.
Jessica Barrios, Dr. Bruce Tain, Dr. Alan Shearson,
Present.
Jennifer Mandel,
Here.
Michael Schwartz,
Here.
Robert McAvoy, David Reed, Dana Cotapasso, Karen McKinney, Kevin O'Hara,
Here.
Melina Nix,
Yeah.
Gary Perucci, Dr. Victor Politi. All right, never more.
Okay, we have a number of excuses, but we do have a quorum of today's meeting, so we'll call to order the November 2024 meeting. Let's salute to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You would remain standing, once again, for a moment of silence for all of our military service members, EMS, fire and police, past regional council members, and also if you'd keep in your thoughts and prayers, Dr. David Kugler, as well as Dr. Joshua Kugler's father passed away on Monday. He was unable to attend today, but if you keep him in your thoughts and prayers and the family. Thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon. All right. We'll move on to, once again, we do have a quorum, approval of the REMSCO meeting minutes from our last meeting, 9/4/24, September 4th, 2024. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Any questions? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? So ordered. Okay, we'll move on to, once again, Bureau disciplines. Since our last meeting on September 4th, we've had a number of, once again, disciplines by New York State Bureau of EMS. All right, first is, once again, Luis Carrillo, EMT number 272-873, surrendered for violations of Article 10, New York Code of Regulations, Part 800.16A, 10, and 800.3 AN, was surrendered on August 7th, 2024, was posted on the Bureau website as of September 3rd, 2024. James Wilkinson, EMT number 458-352, violation of Article 10, your Code of Rules and Regulations, Part 800.15A, 800.16A2, and 800.16A-13, revoked effective September 4th, 24. Revocation is stayed pending no further violations during a probationary period for 3 years, assessed a civil penalty of $6,000. 4,000 of that is stayed pending the same probationary period, posted on September 5th, 2024. Jay Vincent, EMT number 251439 for violations of Article 10, your Code of Regulations, Part 800.16A, number 6, and 800.16A, number 10, revoked effective September 10th, 2024, posted at the same date. Davin Eshelman, EMT number 391815, for violations of Article 10, New York Code of Regulations, Part 800.16A13. It's been suspended for 1 year effective September 12th, 24. The suspension was stayed pending a successful completion of 3 years probation without further violations. Assessed a civil penalty of $8,000. $6,000 is suspended pending successful completion of probation. Medical director's reports required on December of 2024, December of 2025, and December of 2026. Tyler N. Fending, EMT number 402731, for violations of Article 10, New York Code of Regulations, 800.15A1, 800.15A2, 800.15A3, 800.16A1, and 800.16A13. And suspended for 1 year effective September 10th, 2024. Suspension stayed pending 3 years successful probation. Sets a civil penalty of $2,000. $1,000 is stayed pending successful completion of probation. Posted on October 1st, 2024. And last but not least, Wayne Allen, EMT number 377943, for alleged violations of Article 10, New York Code of Regulations, 800.16A10, summarily suspended pending a hearing on November 14th, 24, and was posted yesterday, 11/5/2024. Okay, we'll move on to, once again, the council communications and correspondence are all here. As you can see, there's quite a bit of outgoing and incoming for that. As I said, most of it, once again, deals with REMSCO letters that were sent out to the members of the council constituency organizations regarding attendance during the 2024 REMSCO meeting period and possible removal from council membership. Total 7 letters were sent out, and the request for response was set for November 1st of this year. The meeting survey, once again, has been sent out. We're still waiting on final follow-up and stuff on that regarding the changing of meeting times. And once again, as we get that, once again, we'll bring that to your attention, possibly under old business. REMSCO meeting time, request for EMS provider to join the council committee. We had a number of people requesting to join certain committees and stuff. It's been sent to both REMAC as well as REMSCO leadership to review. And once again, they will be notified as openings come up on the various committees with them. We appreciate them, once again, stepping up and helping out. Chairman DeBogus was notified once again regarding suggested amendments to the current bylaws for the committee to review. Got a number of amendments and stuff sent during the executive session and stuff prior to this meeting and stuff. He was here at the meeting, but once again was unable to stay for the actual general meeting. He has asked, once again, at this point, due to committee availability, to push that back to January to review. He's going to try and review in the next month or so. Some of the amendments, there were quite a few as far as some changes and things that needed to be looked at quite extensively prior to bringing it in draft form to us to once again discuss and review with that. So that will come up at a future date with that. Outgoing request was sent out to the county administration for proclamations for all of our award recipients for 2023. Waiting a response back on that. And once again, I will have them once again ready for the dinner. Award dinner invitations were sent out to various recipients, both county and state EMS officials, as well as to the recipients for that. The quarterly invoice for Rescue Brain, once again, was received and payment was sent out contractually for the website with that. All of our insurance policies had come due once again, and they have currently been paid with that. We also, once again, have paid the invoice for the tax returns and stuff that were necessary to be able to forward to the state. We are current with all tax returns for us up through 2024. Outgoing, once again, we also sent out some emails and stuff and updates to past chairman Vincent Papsadero, as well as the awards committee chairman, Chief Chester, regarding once again the status of the awards dinner to be held on November 20th at the Coral House. And that's pretty much it on the council. The council communications. Any questions and stuff on that? I'll move on. All right. So my report. All right. Unfortunately, once again, Dave is currently upstate and working with the Bureau of EMS and stuff. Has been excused for today's meeting. He's been up there this week and stuff, working with training and education and stuff on some projects with that. So he had no report other than the dinner is moving along well with that. So on my report, it said the EMS Awards Dinner is scheduled for Wednesday, November 20th at the Coral House in Baldwin at 7 p.m. So all recipients have been notified. The invitations to attend have also been extended to Nassau County Administration, as well as New York State and our legislative counterparts in public safety with that, and gradually getting back some of those responses. So far, all of our recipients have scheduled to be in attendance, except once again, Chairman O'Hara of the emergency management will be unable to attend. I'll explain in a couple of minutes on that. Like I say, if you would, once again, there's a sheet up here. Once again, tickets are $50. I would hope that all of our council members, as well as your agencies and stuff, consider supporting and once again honoring all of our recipients for the awards for 2023. A total of 10 awards and stuff going out on that night. It should be a very good night. And once again, I think we owe it to them once again to honor them for their tremendous work during 2023. I want to congratulate Northwell Center for EMS on being honored as the New York State EMS Agency of the Year during the Vital Science Conference last 2 weeks ago. Once again, congratulations. And also at this time, once again, I want to congratulate Kevin J. O'Hara. As you know, this was the 50th year of the EMS week and EMS and stuff. And pretty much Kevin goes back to pretty much its inception. He's provided 51 years of service here within Nassau County as a paramedic, a clinician within both Elmont and North Merrick Fire Department. He has also been an instructor with both the Nassau County EMS Academy, as well as the Nassau County Fire and Police EMS Academy for well over 35 years. On top of that, once again, he does a lot of community service out there doing CPR programs, working with the Department of Health to make sure that they're compliant with all of their training requirements and stuff with that. He chaired our emergency management committee the past 2 years that I've been in, and once again was able to coordinate and be able to complete the MCI plan that currently is in there. Unfortunately, I found out after last meeting and stuff, when we moved it back a month due to some conflicts, that he would be unable to attend the meeting, the dinner on November 20th. His son will be there once again to represent him at the dinner. I said, he is really the epitome, as I said, the whole EMS community and stuff. All right, the theme for this year was once again, honor our past and once again, forge a new future. You're looking at, once again, the person that, once again, has forged the future and stuff and continues to do it on a daily basis. So I would ask, once again, Kevin O'Hara to come up, once again, to accept his plaque and stuff on behalf of the council, for that. Once again, he was awarded this year
And a rate check on the dinner?
National Regional EMS Council Chairman's Award of Excellence in EMS. Foundation, many different organizations. Kevin, I'll give you this also. He works with a tremendous amount of organizations. He does, once again, the training for all of our educators here in Nassau County as regional faculty. And nobody that I would, once again, consider honoring more than, once again, Kevin O'Hara for this year, with the 50th anniversary of that. So thank you very much, Kevin, for all of your hard work and stuff and your commitment to us.
Thank you for honoring. Appreciate it.
The REMSCO and REMAC meetings, as we've said previously, once again, will be located on our website. All right, so once again, there will be no physical meeting, but it does meet the New York State requirements for open meeting laws. So therefore, once again, it will be placed up there for anybody to view. We anticipate, once again, we would like all agencies to review the information, both here as well as the state meetings and stuff that will be coming up in December. At the last REMAC meeting last month, the REMSCO and REMAC is forming a committee to update and develop new policies and procedures for online medical control to be adopted by both REMAC and the REMSCO Council upon completion. We once again are looking at a cross section. I've spoken to Dr. Kugler. And as you know, once again, I'll be going out, but Dave Caldor and the executive board and stuff to once again get people onto this tag, a technical assistance group, to once again try and get the information and stuff to the council so that we can adopt it to be able to manage. ALS credentialing is still in place till the state once again decides what they're doing, but all regions have adopted regional credentialing. All ALS providers should be credentialed. It helps us once again to be able to manage the website as we do pay per provider that's out there. So we need to know and have an exact number and stuff with that when we're calculating for how many people are physically providing out there. We had 2 downgrades during the last 2 months. Once again, both have currently been rectified to the best of my knowledge. Agencies were downgraded to BLS for a period of time due to failures within their agency inspection. They've been rectified with the state. But we do ask you, once again, if you're anticipating an inspection, or once again, just not sure if you're meeting the requirements, that you please reach out to the council office, all right? REMSCO at NassauEMS.org. We will get you the information necessary and run through to make sure that when the state comes in to do either your biannual registration and inspection, or if you have an issue involving a rapid inspection, once again, that you reach out to us so that we're aware of it with that. REMSCO Council Agency, as well as the program, we are awaiting finalization of the final contract. We will be the program agency as a council for the next 5 years. We are currently up to date on all financials. Everything's been submitted to the state. We filed all the necessary paperwork. We're waiting on the final contract to come back to us. For the program agency, we've sent out the first check to the Nassau County Controller for the Fire Marshal's Office Administrative Assistant. Once that is cashed, once again, we will get additional checks sent to us by the state till we are whole with Nassau County for that. So it is a work in progress. and that is effective as of July 1st of this past year. The next SEMSCO and CMAC meetings are scheduled for December 3rd and 4th. All right, online, once again, will be the CMAC as well as SEMSCO meetings. I once again encourage all to once again look at the live stream, be aware of what's going on here in the state because it does roll down to the region, and therefore, once again, you should be on, especially if you're an agency manager or coordinator, you should be aware of what's going on with that. Reminder to all agencies, the 2025 Nassau Regional EMS Agency Medical Director forms, as well as online EMS agency surveys, must be completed and submitted to the REMSCO office by January 31st of 2025. All right, that's a requirement. Or once again, you'll be downgraded with that. We've been very fortunate the past couple of years. We've had full 100% compliance with all 90 some odd agencies getting that information in. And we hope that once again, we will have no issues with that. Also, as of January, we will reinstitute for 2024 the awards applications. The new executive board, once again, will set a time frame and stuff on that. We've had it out there for 4.5 months, the past 2 years. And we encourage each and every agency and provider, once again, to recognize those that are doing exemplary work out there in the field with that. The town of Oyster Bay BLS first response continues to be tabled. We've still not received any further information on that until the region has time to look at it and get it up to the state. We will once again leave it on the table. And last but not least, once again, this is my final meeting as chairman. 4 years of being up here, once again, I want to thank each and every one of you. As I said to the executive council and the committee chairman and stuff, I could not have done it without all of you. It's a lot of work. As I said, we went through some tough times. First 18 months, not having a program agency, doing everything administratively. We got some help, once again, from various agencies, EAB, the fire marshal's office, as well as the people who are sitting around this table to once again keep the boat afloat, so to speak. But we're in a much better place than I believe we were some 4 years ago with that. We now once again have a lot of data flowing in. Once again, we're able to manage the day-to-day operations. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for your attendance, for your contributions, once again, for the service that you provide to the residents. All right, because that is our true mission. Our mission, once again, should be focused on the public, the taxpayers, and the people that, once again, are supporting our system. So thank you very much, and I appreciate it. Does anybody have any other questions and stuff for me? All right, thank you. All right, as I said, Vice Chairman Caldwell had no report and stuff. And I'll move on to the Secretary Treasurer's report, Thomas Devaney.
Okay, so we had some deposits this month, since last meeting, 13,065.26 for the dinner payment checks. We had the New York State payment of $17,183.89. Like the chairman mentioned, we had some bills to pay. We paid our insurance for Hartford, $521.58, and our CPA firm for the audit, $650. And then we also bought the awards, $915. But right now, currently, we have our checking account has $64,201.26. That's also waiting the county to cash the $42,000 check that we paid for the quarter. Money market has $16,275.79, and savings has $24,453.17, for a total of $104,930.22.
Okay, so under new business, once again, we'll accept the treasury report on that. Move on to the state EMS EMS coordinators report, Donald Hudson.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Chuck mentioned, the next state meetings are December 3rd and 4th up in Troy, New York. If you can't make the trip, please watch the live stream, or if you have any questions or concerns, obviously always reach out. I represent, as everyone else up there, you guys out there doing what we do. I guess from the EMS coordinators aspect, the topic du jour should be EPCR compliance. As you know, and myself and others have lamented for far too long now, we still have challenges with certain EPCR vendors submitting charts in a timely fashion, or quite honestly, at all. The number previously speculated and floated around was that nearly 40% of our charts are not going anywheres. That number has actually been confirmed now by New York State, and a plan is being formulated for enforcement against those that are not compliant. And unfortunately, as a reminder, and the very bad news, right? Don't kill the messenger. That responsibility for the vendor falls upon the EMS agency. So if you are not absolutely 100% certain that your EPCR vendor is submitting charts, all charts within the 4-hour time period, and that they are properly going through, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we can show you actually what's going on, so that you are not being misled or misunderstood in your needs. About as diplomatic as I can say at this point, but yeah, EMS data statewide continues to be a huge topic of conversation. Case in point here in Nassau, most providers' fingertips should be the weekly EMS coordinators report, which has the hospital turnaround time data in that. That's drawn purely from the PCR plan. So if the charts are not coming through or not being validated properly, being rejected, or as we come to find out, not even being sent, that data is excluded from those queries. So again, we're mindful of that blind spot. We sort of don't know what we don't know. 40% is an uncomfortably high number for non-compliance, and stay tuned, I'm sure there'll be more information coming for that. Happy to answer questions if there are any.
Do you have any questions for the EMS coordinator?
Closer to the mic.
Yeah, if you can. So as Todd comes up, I think, not to steal your thunder, but so we've also been in communication region-wide with a number of the hospitals, namely the stroke coordinators and trauma coordinators, who have expressed equal concerns about missing PCRs and missing data. So not to steal your thunder, but to buy you time to get to the table.
So, you know, I'm one of the thorns on the side about this data, because NUMIC is coming up on our stroke survey. We've been asked for information that should be readily available. As a medic, I have to place in the field every single time what the less known well time is. However, I go online, most charts don't have that. If I'm lucky, the provider has written something into the narrative, but that requires us to go chart by chart by chart. It's the same reason why the iGel pilot is not being done anymore, because they have to go chart by chart by chart. So at the same time, the report that's being put out every week, I have some issues with, because based on analysis of my own data, a minimum of 20% of the charts, or a minimum of 20% of ambulances that come to NUMIC, we don't have charts for. I'm regularly reaching out to Don, regularly reaching out to departments to get these charts to be able to complete our data, both on trauma and stroke. 20% makes a huge difference when you look at the chart and see what the turnaround time is. Also, I don't think that we should be reporting on back in service time. EDs have no control whatsoever over providers once they put the patient on bed. We should be really looking at the handover time to be more accurate. When we look at that time, it significantly drops every single department's numbers in mind. I'm not able to see what other hospitals are doing, but I have to assume other hospitals are having the same problems. I don't know if this is something that needs to be dealt with on the committee level, if there's something that needs to be done to push the state further, but more details on what the state is doing would be very helpful, because right now we're justifying our existence based on bad data.
So again, NUMIC's not the only one raising concern. We had this discussion with Northwell and the Catholics, virtually every one of our facilities who expressed the same concerns. Again, they're under the gun with their stroke accreditation and trauma accreditations most specifically. Part of the problem with certain EPCR vendors is their compliance to the EPCR rules. So what that means is every provider knows there's certain fields that are required on a given PCR. Those are based on rules on the back end of each system that are provided by the state. Different EPCR vendors, again, to try and be diplomatic, continue to struggle with the implementation and adherence to those rules. Last known well being one of them. It's a mandatory field that chart will fail every single time unless it's there.
Except it doesn't fail on the
Correct.
provider
So-
side.
It doesn't fail on the provider side, or more commonly, it shows the provider the chart's good when it's not. And that chart either is not sent by the particular vendor because well, I won't speculate why, but that chart's not sent anywheres, including the hospital, the region, or the state by the PCR vendor, or in months past, which, as we know, we talked about when the rules were shut off for a period of time to try and get charts to come through. Those were then hitting those rules and being rejected by the state. Obviously, the conversation with the hospitals is a much better metric for something within their control. The hospital turnaround time is just as we were talking about. From the time the ambulance arrives to the hospital to the time care is transitioned. The hospital can control that. They can't control us restocking, going out of service, getting lunch, chatting up a nurse, or whatever may go on. We can let our minds wander. The hospital doesn't control that. Comes out of unit availability, system status management, all that back end stuff, but not necessarily within the control of the hospitals. Part of the problem with looking at time of arrival to a time of patient transfer is there is not high confidence by myself or anyone on the state data management team that the vendor, plural, servicing our area has that field properly implemented. Which means, as I said to Mr. Hagan, I'm gonna start to run both reports and see if there's a discrepancy in charts, meaning that we're not seeing yet more data that should be available. So we're gonna run those reports. My fear is we're gonna find out it's worse than we thought, but we won't know until we look. So we'll look and we'll deal with that together. Again, if you're not absolutely certain your vendor is doing everything that's required of them, meaning of you, which somebody will be made an example. That's not a threat, but that's just the nature of our world, right? We don't want that to be anyone within our region. We've been talking about this for a very long time. And if you're having vendor problems or you're not getting the service that you're paying quite handsomely for from your vendor, please let us know and we will let the state know. As the state has an increasing list of discrepancies and deficiencies. So again, happy to take questions. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news yet again, but that's the scuttlebutt. Yeah, through iGel, you know, that pilot program you saw, all the discussions regarding the missing data and missing fields and how come one vendor doesn't code it the way they were told to and everything else that came along with that. So this is just a continuation on that theme.
Is there any transparency on which agencies are in compliance? If there's 40% missing, which agencies comprise that 40%?
So great question. Weekly to the EMS medical directors and EMS managers from every agency goes out a data query from the state of New York data management team about their PCR submittal compliance. So yes, that is done not just for transparency, but also, I think, personal opinion, when push comes to shove, no one's going to be able to say we didn't know. So if you need help interpreting that report, please reach out. If you're not getting that report, please reach out. If it's not being forwarded to your leadership as intended from your EMS manager, or better yet, to your EMS providers who should be in on this conversation, we hear from them also, voicing frustration. I just got a call for the 4th time this month that none of my charts are going through. The system tells me they're all good. Why is it doing this? And it's not a state problem. It's not a regional problem. It's a vendor problem. That
Thank
answer
you.
the question?
Thank you.
Doc, when the rules were off and the reports are being rejected by the state, is that rejection coming with a reason?
So, yeah,
So my question back to that is, can we turn the rules back off so then the agencies know what the problem is? And they can go to their vendor and say, well, first of all, we'll have to fix it. Second of all, they have to fix the report. Second of all, they can go after their vendor and say, this field is not the way the state wants. We're getting you kicked back. We need to fix it.
yeah, great point. So that report that goes out weekly is not only your agency's total number of PCRs correctly submitted, which then you can reconcile with how many you generated that month or for that time period to see if there's a discrepancy. Obviously, if something's missing, then we track down where and why it's missing. There's a second report attached to that. It is broken down by EPCR vendor, the fields that are actually failing and why they're failing. Again, that should be sent to everybody as the EMS coordinator's report has been intended for since its inception. Again, if that's not happening and you providers are frustrated, either because they think something's occurring that's not, or vice versa, and they're not getting the right information as intended, please reach out and let us know. We understand in some ways, there's still a huge communications gap between what people think is going on and what is actually going on, and we'd like to address that.
Any other questions for the EMS coordinator? Regarding that. Okay. All right, we'll move on. REMSCO council committees, all right. So a couple of quick things from most of the executive council, we met prior to this meeting, today. We had a couple of, long discussions, once again, regarding various things. Once again, some of them will come up under the committee meetings, stuff with that. Most pressing, once again, was, the attendance. All right, I text Robin once again to look at all of the attendance for, the end of 23 into 24, to see where we stand as far as compliance with the current bylaws. What we're seeing is, once again, a lot of constituents are asking for excusals, but their alternates are not showing up. Where, once again, one of the reasons why we do now take attendance and stuff before to make sure that we actually have a quorum in order to meet the function and the requirements for the business with that. So with that, once again, 7 letters were sent out to various constituencies during the past month and a half. Most of them did reply. All right, there were a couple of them that once again were delayed. There was 1 or 2 that did not reply at all. They were given until November 1st to reply back to us. And with that, once again, we reviewed it prior to the meeting and stuff today. One of those being Nassau County. Nassau County administration has had a seat at the table for many, many years. And during my tenure and stuff up here the last 4 years, I can safely tell you that once again, rarely was there a county representative and stuff sitting here from that. During the past year, once again, we had 1 alternate show up to 1 meeting, and so I bring that back to the council for various reasons. As we get into the survey, which I'm going to explain in a minute, is attendance, and once again, being able to get people to the table that want to assist us in keeping this system moving forward. So the question has to be, once again, do we change certain constituencies? We sent out, as I said, both email and mailed letters to the county, to the Nassau Suffolk Hospital Council, to community at-large members. We also sent it out to a couple of other constituencies that were extremely light or were abusing the excusal system and calling in 10, 15 minutes before, asking for an excusal and stuff for that. And we can run, once again, a system if we do not have participation and stuff here. The one, once again, that currently is, and I reached out to, one of the legislative, people that I've been in contact with for months, to find out what the status is, why the county's not responding, and I've not heard back yet. I did not hear back from the, constituent nor the alternate until about 15 minutes before this meeting. And the council needs to decide, certain constituencies probably need to be changed. We probably need to bring more different people to the table to be able to do that. So as I said, I have the letters and stuff up here. It was pretty specific in what we were looking for. And if need be, once again, I think the council needs to evaluate that. Also, once again, the meeting time survey I do have, it just came to me. And we sent out a survey. Of that survey, the question was, holding meetings, in the afternoon, which has historically been, generally 2 o'clock for the REMSCO meetings and 2:15 for the REMAC meetings. And looking at the possibility of, once again, changing up a little bit, maybe doing a hybrid, maybe doing an afternoon, and moving some of the meetings tonight to encourage people to come out and to attend that. So we sent out this survey, at the request of a letter that we received, or a couple of letters actually, and also a question at the last prior meeting. Of that, once again, 44%. Let's see, 44%, once again, requested, they'd prefer to have the meetings at night, starting at 7 o'clock. Right, of that, once again, about 30%, once again, wanted it to remain at 2 o'clock as, start. And then there was about 25% that came through and, had no preference and stuff on that. I will leave that up to, once again, the next, council executive board coming through, the chairman, to review this, as he's not here today, and to see, how he wants to handle that. I have no issue with, once again, personally, we brought this up before. And when we, once again, surveyed and polled the audience and stuff, it was non-committal. I think we need to get younger. We need to get more people involved. We need to, once again, have a presence here to be able to conduct the business that's necessary in this county, be able to get new people in here. And I will leave that up to them. I will forward this to him, with that, but once again, it was requested, and that was the findings. There were 95, I believe 95, responses to the survey over the past 3 weeks since we sent it out, with that. Also, another thing, from the executive board, question came up, as I said, we are currently, and I can't remember in my time and stuff sitting here or sitting out there, where we've effectively gone over the bylaws. Stated in the bylaws, every 2 years, we're supposed to review it. We've had major changes, both program agency, with REMSCO, REMAC. So it says on the even years. So I got the legal, committee to once again start to review this. The issue became, once again, meetings. There were not enough participants and stuff from the committees to, host that. The committee chairman, Frank DeBobis, once again, has requested today, once again, to table that discussion until January, when he can, once again, we could formulate a new committee interested in looking over the bylaws and making some significant changes. There were some amendments that were sent, both by myself, some of the executive board members, as well as the people sitting out there, that we need some major amendments and stuff to that. Some of it doesn't fit. And some of the bylaws in there are obsolete, to say the least. So that being said, once again, we were going to have a discussion and stuff today, but I am going to push that off until January, allow him time and the executive board up here to formulate a committee that's interested in sitting down. It's gonna take some time and come up with a document that, once again, will last into the future with that. We will also once again bring up the REMSCO manual draft policies that were adopted at REMAC last month. So that will come up for an approval vote and stuff with that. And then we will also have, once again, the executive board elections. Now, this is the last question. This is the reason why the bylaws are so important. We had a discussion at the executive council and stuff today. And it's very vague, a lot of gray areas and stuff in there. And it was not generally picked up by me initially until after the meeting was resolved in September. Is the question comes down to whether a executive board member can be, needs to be a seated member or once again, an alternate. There is no delineation one way or the other with that. So what we came up with, once again, we are going to withhold the election on secretary treasurer and postpone that until the January meeting, till after they can meet, once again, hammer out the requirements and stuff on that. So today during the election and stuff, be strictly for the chairman, vice chairman. We will reopen it up. We temporarily closed it last month. If there's anybody else interested in any of those three positions, once again, we will take further nominations. But we will only be voting today on the chairman and the vice chairman. And we will revisit this in January, once we can tie up some of that. So any questions on that? As far as the executive council, I know there's a lot there. As I said, moving forward, there's a lot of things that we need to do that we probably haven't done for many years. And those loopholes and those loosely tied things need to be fixed. Anything else under the executive council? Any questions? Me. All right, we'll move on. REMAC, Dr. Cheerson.
Okay, I have Dr. Kugler's report here. He apologizes for his absence. REMAC Chair, I'd like to recognize and thank Chairman Mackey for his outstanding leadership and support during his tenure as Vice and then Chair of the REMSCO. Push to improve local EMS care in this region has touched many facets of quality, communication, infrastructure, and our program agency rebuild. We would not be at this juncture of success without him. Thank you, Chairman Mackey. Thanks, Jeff. Reports from CMAC in September were submitted. Quality members added to the committee. One case was investigated and closed, other issues ongoing. It was brought out. It was brought out as a second motion from Quality to REMAC for a specific complaint to be directed to the New York State Attorney General for assistance. This was voted on and approved, but before being sent to the Attorney General's office, the Bureau of EMS Director Greenberg intervened. He was acting to facilitate the process, and a meeting with the Bureau leadership and regional leadership is still pending a calendar date. Airway, BC Airway report from Dr. Newbert. Communications, eBridge usage has been steadily climbing and going well. It's a great resource for data and quality. We are looking at line item budget for interpreter service. There have been other upgrades to service as well. Dr. Winslow from Suffolk County EMS presented on centralized OLMC and how Suffolk manages it. Examples from other regions were also distributed for discussion and consideration. A tag to be manned by members of REMAC and REMSCO with constituents from OLMC providers and hospitals was formed. Chair Mackey volunteered to address membership. TAG is tasked with responsibility for creation of regional policy procedure and requirements regarding online medical control. Discussion about elimination of all but critical diversion of data from Rhode Island and Suffolk County was presented. Thank you, David Kugler, Chair.
Okay, any questions regarding that? Okay, we'll move on. Communications, I don't know if Karen was excused. She had a prior meeting to attend. I don't know if she's back yet. If she comes in, once again, we'll get that. Disaster planning, emergency management, Kevin O'Hara.
As I mentioned during the executive council, a draft of the train to trainer program has been made for the MCI policy, the new policy. So we're gonna distribute that out to some of the authors and the committee that have worked on that plan to tweak it up and kind of hopefully we'll get a finalized program, trainer program in the beginning of the year. Okay, and then we can get that out. We also discussed who would be, recipients of that program, actually all our EMS agencies, both whether they be county people, whether they be hospital people, whether they be volunteer ambulance corps or, proprietary ambulances, everyone's gonna be a recipient of that program. So we'll figure that out. More to come, hopefully by the first of the year, we'll have this program. We can disseminate it, okay, to the various agencies. We can roll it out ourselves at the battalion level and start to get some headway with training our providers.
Any questions for emergency management? Yeah, move on. Education and training. Edward Walter.
Good afternoon. Just a couple of quick things. There's been a bunch of policy statements that have been given out by the Bureau. One that will affect providers the most, or one of the two, is 2406. Those that have been certified, I believe after July 1st, are now getting a 48-month certification. To go along with that, they did a bunch of regulatory changes, which in Article 30, Part 800, policy 24-08 is 5 pages of those. The ones that will affect the providers the most are regarding CME and CME recertification. Now that they are implementing the 48-month, obviously the CME requirements are going to go up. They've changed a couple other things in there. The Bureau has not provided any guidance on how they're going to make those changes yet. The CME policy manual was supposedly almost ready to be distributed, but has not happened. So hopefully in December, we can get some answers while Don laughs over there. We can get some answers as to what those new guidelines are gonna be. Yes, sir.
Was there any discussion about the 50% versus 100% agencies? Any change to that?
No.
Okay.
Nothing at all. A lot of it was on training hours for CME. There's a provision in there for someone who has a certification that is not a provider for an agency to get certified.
Okay.
We don't know how that's going to be facilitated, but it's in the change. So we're waiting to see what that guidance might be. So more to come on those. If you haven't heard, EMTCC certification is sunsetting, July of 27. Next bridge program is going to be in April of 25. That's all I have.
Any questions for training and ed? Okay. As I said earlier, legal and governmental, all right, Chairman, DeMovis was here earlier. Once again, he had to step out, personal reasons. If you are interested, all right, there'll be new committee assignments and stuff coming out, once, Vice Chair, Dave Caldo takes over. If you are interested in committees, please email the office at, REMSCO at NassauEMS.org. If you are interested in, working on this, program for, once again, redoing all of the bylaws and stuff, please send us an email and stuff. We need participation. We need people that are interested because it's going to be quite encompassing and stuff and require some time to get this done with. I don't remember in my time here in the council or even sitting in the back that we've thoroughly gone through the bylaws and fixed some of the issues that are currently with it. So if you're interested in a particular, all right, regardless of whether you're on the council or once again, just sitting out there, please let us know. We can use all the help that we can get. That public education and awards. Chairman Frank Chester.
Afternoon. We're working with the executive committee to put together the remnants of the dinner. So get your tickets, they're going quick. And the invitations are out, I think, already.
Invitations are all out. Once again, all the recipients have been notified. as well as, any dignitaries and stuff throughout the county, as well as the state. If you need to, once again, they're online at Eventbrite, all right, $50 a ticket. I said, we're not charging full price, but once again, tickets, as the chief said, are going. We're getting tables from, various, hospital association organizations, agencies and stuff. So please, come out and support.
We haven't had a dinner in, what, 5, 6 years?
No, since
And
prior to
when we had them, they were always a nice affair. So if you can see your way clear to get out there and get some of your guys out there, I think you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, like I said, we've been fortunate. We've had, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we've had 4 state award winners and stuff in the past, 3 years and stuff, so. I say, get the awards and stuff in, we'll get them up, and once again, we've been very successful in once again honoring our own and getting awards, both regionally as well as state with that.
Got a question in the back.
Question,
Real quick question, are you doing a journal this year for the dinner?
we're putting together a program and stuff. We did not have a journal, per se with that.
Only because we were in a little bit of a rush this year.
Okay, that's fine.
Next year, we'll.
Yeah,
Okay.
the last couple of years, we've done it in-house and stuff strictly during EMS week, but due to some conflicts and some issues with cricket tournament and other things going on during EMS week, we had to push it back. So we're doing a program and stuff, but we haven't put a journal. But certainly any hospital agencies that are out there, once again, the different organizations and stuff, we'd love to have you come out to the dinner, support EMS. Let's see, EMS systems, Chairman Airy.
Good afternoon. The 911 ambulance response matrix change, which we had voted on at our last REMSCO meeting, was sent to the county. It was approved. It went to Communications Bureau for 911 programming and went live.
Okay. Any questions for EMS systems? All right, we'll move on to membership. Chairman Trot.
We've had some positive results upon reaching out to some of those council members who have missed council general meetings. Those who have responded to us wanted to continue to serve their constituencies and wish to maintain their council seats. There were 2 council seats who have not complied with our request as discussed, and it'll be to be discussed further. Nassau County Suffolk Hospital Council has nominated Jennifer Mandel, who is here today, to Director of Emergency Management at Mount Sinai South Nassau Hospital, to nominated as their representative to fill the council seat vacated by Stephen Markey. Her appointment to the council will take place under new business. REMSCO received communication from Nassau University Medical Center as well as NYU Langone that each hospital nominated a representative to fill the vacant RETAC seat. We got word that at the next meeting, RETAC will be making their official recommendation as to who will be their representative. And the membership committee will report back to the council when we're notified. Ballots have been prepared for the 2025 Council Executive Board elections, which will take place today during new business. Again, as Chairman Mackey had said, there will be a spot for Secretary Treasurer as the ballot was prepared prior to our discussion at the Executive Board today. Please just leave that spot vacant.
Okay, under membership also, just for awareness, all right, anybody that is a seated member and stuff on the council and stuff must reside within Nassau County. All right, so you must have a residence and stuff within Nassau County to be a seated member and stuff on the council with that. That's one of the reasons why we do ask for the information and stuff as well as CV and resume as needed, and letters of support from the various agencies for that. Hospital Emergency Department, Dana Cortopasso, I don't know that I saw Dana here. All right, we are going to reach out once again today with Dana and stuff regarding some of the stuff that Dawn brought up to get it out there and to see if we can work with them to try and get the information that they need in order to once again meet their accreditation requirements and stuff with the various agencies for that. Subcommittees, the Airway Committee, as well as IHL program. Dr. Newbert was unable to attend today, requested excusal. I believe, Dawn, did you have?
Yeah, Dr. Newbert and Dr. Silver both had other questions, so they asked to be excused, and they forwarded their report to me. I'll read the report, but it alludes to the attachment to your agenda here, which is the change that came from the Airway Committee, past REMAC, and now comes before REMSCO. The revision history here is 10/2/2024, replace RSI subcommittee with the Airway Committee, added recommended to RSI paramedic time, remove original from paramedic program, change bi-monthly to every 2 months, change RSI paramedic availability to can be available outside their primary operating authority that relates to mutual aid. So those are the synopsis of the greater document and the only changes that were made to it. So this is what is reported. These changes were intended to put us more in line with current UH Bureau policies such as bridge medics. Given that medical directors of individual agencies are the primary drivers of paramedic credentialing within their agencies, we wanted to ensure we balanced our recommendations and requirements as a committee with reasonable guidelines that medical directors will support. This allows us to be a more effective resource. Individual medical directors are to be the primary source of support for the medics recommended to the RSI committee, Airway Committee, for approval. Mutual aid policies are addressed elsewhere in regional and state policies and statutes, so the wording in our document is very important to identify RSI medics as a shareable resource to be governed by policies and procedures already spelled out elsewhere. Our committee wants to hold the standards high while also encouraging medical directors to participate and recommend strong leaders in our region to help move the RSI program forward. Other items that were covered, we're now getting really good data from the eBridge Airway form that is blinded for QA data review. That will help us provide everyone with training and practice recommendations moving forward. We are working on verifying the training of the New York City rescue paramedics for reciprocity purposes. Suffolk County is also now offering their airway course as an option for Nassau providers, and Suffolk will recognize our Nassau course when it's held in the near future. The IGEL program data presented by Hudson Valley shows that EMTs were very successful in placement of the IGEL, and they had a 10 to 20% ROSC rate with BLS IGELs. Additional data is available if you want the report given to the REMSCO. The plan is for this to become part of BLS collaborative protocols as a regional, if trained and equipped option in the near future. Any additional agencies that want to participate, let us know. We may have to wait for the protocol change to add additional agencies, but we'll check with Hudson Valley. And also added Dr. Gorski and Dr. Silver as voting members. Dr. David Silver is now the vice chair of the Airway Committee. Thank you all for your support and participation today. David.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the subcommittee, eBridge Communications, project. Dr. Kugler is not here. I will say that once again, we have met, and Dawn's been on there with us. Dr. Kugler's been the driving force, with looking at, some, changes, some, very receptive with General Devices, and looking into some of the things, that are available that we haven't really, put into the program and stuff. I said, we're taking it one step at a time, and that is a work in progress. With that, we hope to meet with them again before the end of the year to see on the progress of that, to be able to download certain data and to once again be able to meet the demands of the providers and stuff out there to enhance the system with that.
What's going on with getting departments to use eBridge? I know that there's multiple departments that do not use it whatsoever.
It's the standard policy here in Nassau County. That is the primary agency use of communications and stuff for it. We've taken nothing away. But once again, each agency is responsible, once again, to use it as a quality assurance tool for us. Here in the region, one of the reasons why we do have, a server with the region for the quality assurance, quality improvement committee to be able to review. And we are working to once again enforce where possible. We have no contracts. That, plain and simple and stuff. Each agency is responsible to use it. And this is where it is. It's improving. I know Dawn sees the numbers all the time. I'm not behind the computer personally. But it comes down to, and one of the reasons why we have once again requested meetings with the state and other to once again get us the guidelines and once again the enforcement ability and stuff to be able to utilize certain regional policies and procedures and stuff that are currently in our regional policy manual. So I'm not out there to police them. This is what's required. This is what the REMAC as well as the REMSCO has adopted. And if anybody has a better suggestion on how that can be enhanced, I'm willing to listen.
So essentially, we have no way of making them accountable until we hear from the state as to guidelines.
Pretty much. And we don't have the stick and stuff to. But we'll continue to try. As I said, the EMS systems tag, still on hold. There's been no meetings and stuff. There's been no inquiries and stuff from the administration to come back. The report has been filed. It's on the REMSCO website. It's been sent out. It's been finalized. Fire Commission is aware of it, as well as all the other agencies and stuff, the police department. And question is how they want to, go about once again adopting the requirements and stuff that were adopted with the committee and stuff that sat down to make the recommendations. This has been a 40-year project. We've kicked the can down the road as far as we possibly can. And the question is, who's going to take the bull by the horns on the county side, once again, start to adopt some of the policies and procedures and the requirements and stuff in order to, once again, utilize that. So hopefully next executive board that comes in will once again be able to sit down with them. Any other questions, subcommittees? The only other thing, once again, during executive session, I had asked the executive committee to once again formalize 2 or 3 people. As we make the transition going out, which probably won't be until January now, is we do not have an audit committee currently in. All the books have been once again rectified by the CPA. And once again, all of the tax documents have been finalized. There was no questions and there was no issues and stuff with that. But just for transparency purposes, as we said, we will once again have a audit committee sit down with the treasurer and the executive board before the new treasurer comes in and finalize all the paperwork going forward on that to make sure that we're meeting, because as a program agency, we also have paperwork that needs to be submitted to them appropriately in order for reimbursements to actually occur with that. All right, so we will be taking care of that in the near future with that. Any other committees that I may have omitted? Okay, unfinished business. As we said earlier, the EMS awards dinner is Wednesday, November 20th at the Coral House. The REMSCO council bylaws, once again, at the request of the chairman, due to lack of meetings and being able to go through the entire process. He's requested that, once again, that be discussed at the January meeting. With that, as I said, if anybody is interested in getting on this committee, please, as soon as possible, let us know. All right. The meeting scheduled, the survey speaks for itself. I'll open it up to discussion and stuff. I'll let the executive board decide on that for the coming year. Would you look to would a hybrid of, once again, changing up 2 or 3 meetings per year to a 7 o'clock start versus a 7 o'clock versus a 2 o'clock start. Because this also would affect, or would have to be discussed with REMAC as well, because all of their meetings currently are in the afternoon as well. So that would be a discussion that would have to be held not only by REMSCO, but also looking at the numbers would REMAC also be part of that process. So I'll open it up. Is there any discussion and stuff on the numbers? As I said, 95 people responded to it. Does anybody have a discussion? No? Okay. All right, council attendance, constituency seats. As I said, we have 2 seats and stuff currently. All right, one is currently in the process of being filled. Finally, it got back to us. Once again, they had been in hiatus. That was the Regional Trauma Advisory Committee. And they are currently working to reestablish through the various hospital organizations and stuff to get some council representation here. But the county administrative seat, as far as I'm concerned, once again, has been vacated by a lack of response with that. Question is, once again, I asked about it, once again, do you want to review and once again, look at another constituency to fill that void?
Mr. Chairman, the membership committee has not been in contact with the alternate for that constituency. Respectfully, the member should go back to membership committee, have them be in contact and determine what the intent is from that individual.
We could do, I've spoken to the alternate personally to see if he would take it back to, see if he could be elevated to that position and stuff. And the alternate and stuff for that position contacted us 15 minutes before the meeting today requesting an excusal.
And given the fact, have we notified the constituency itself?
We've sent letters out to both the seated member as well as the administration and stuff on that. And I've reached out in multiple ways.
Then I'd like to make a motion, we replace that constituency with another one. They clearly have no interest in being there.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor once
Second.
again. I'm sorry,
I'll
second.
both.
we have a second? On the question. Take a roll call vote on that.
Charles Mackey,
Yes.
Todd Aiken,
Yes.
Once again, if the seated member, once again, is not here and the alternate is in.
Right.
Please identify.
so yeah, Todd's the alternate for Dave. Chris Airy,
No.
Scott Kittigrad,
Abstain.
James Ajaminian,
Yes.
Frank DeVovis, left. Mark Vitale.
Yes.
Barry Rigney,
The family emergency. Either leave family
Oh.
emergency.
all right, Kevin Mackey,
Yes.
Robin Trott,
Abstain.
Christie Metropolis,
Yes.
Keith Wilkin,
Yes.
Don Hudson,
Yes.
Ed Waldron,
Yes.
Frank Chester,
No,
Neil Velasco,
Yes.
Rob Pinio,
No.
Dr. Grace Tang,
No.
Dr. Alan Shearson,
Yes.
Michael Schwartz,
No.
Kevin O'Hara,
Yes.
and Alina Nix.
Don't come here, I didn't sign in.
Andy Simone is here.
Andy Simone, I'm sorry. Oh,
I'm gonna help.
okay. All right. Andy Simone? Abstain. Yes. Yes. Abstain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. The results are 12 yes, 5 no, 5 abstain.
Is the motion passes?
Motion passes.
Okay. All right, we'll look into, once again, sending out letters and stuff to see if there's any constituency interested in that. All right, we'll move on. Once again, we'll reopen, the executive board nominations, for 2025. Is there any other nominations for chairman? Other than David Caldor? Do I have a motion? It's gonna close permanently. Second,
Are the motions just for the, for all positions or just that position?
that position,
Oh,
The position of,
chairman. We have any other nominations for vice chair? Thomas Devaney for the executive board, 2025. Any other nominations?
make motion nominations be closed.
Second,
Second. Okay, is there any other nominations for secretary treasurer?
Nominate Frank DeBovis.
You have a nomination for Frank DeBovis. Is there any other nominations? Okay, you have a motion.
Yeah, I made a motion, close it.
Motion permanently closed. Okay, so we will once again have a, open it up once again under, new business. Once again, we will withhold the secretary treasurer until a final determination, is made at the January meeting. And when at that time, once again, that, executive board seat will once again be voted upon. Okay. All right, anything else under unfinished business? We'll move on to new business. Approval of the council treasurer's report, from, let's see, September 4th, through today, 11/5/2024. Yesterday. We have a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
To accept the report.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. And, did the, constituency, count, once again. I'm sorry, we did. I make a motion once again for, the, REMSCO manual, draft policy changes presented by, REMAC for regional council approval. It's attached to your, agenda. I have a motion to approve. Motion approved. Second. On the question. All in favor?
All right.
Unopposed? Abstentions? So ordered. All right, we'll move on to, once again, the council executive board elections. Once again, if you're a seated member, once again, if you would come up and get your ballot.
You're a seated member or their alternates here,
All
right?
right,
So,
just one or the other.
right, so, just one for you,
Somebody need a pen?
you,
Yeah.
all right, Todd Aiken. So, Chris Airy, Scott Kettigrad, James Jemian, Mark Vitale. Probably want.
Yeah, I got it, yeah.
Barry Rigney, Robin Trott. Rick Dimitropoulos. Keith Wilkin, Don Hudson, Ed Waldron, Frank Chester, Dia Velasco, Andy Simone, Rob Finio, Grace Tang, Billy Shearson. This gentleman, no.
No.
Michael Schwartz, Kevin O'Hara, and Alina Nix.
Please, if you would, once again, give that back to,
Secretary.
Robin, to the chairman. All right. Please.
Oh, yeah, quote by mail.
They're all the same, so what's the use of voting? Write it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, if you just put them right over here, I'll give them to Robin. Or you can leave your ballots and stuff right over here. All right, somebody would once again give, Robin a hand. I know Barry had to leave. I know he's on the committee. All right, any paper? Yeah.
I walk around like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe,
If you need paper, I put an X on there, so once again, if you need the back, so I calculate. That's one man's calculator. One man's calculator.
I got one, yeah, I gave it a.
Okay. That's it.
Coming around now.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I signed you. You're in, yeah. That's why I didn't call you.
Thank you for delivering.
Secretary Treasurer.
If you think it's acceptable.
Are we voting on that? Secretary Treasurer
No,
today?
no, not today. Next, yes. That's gotta be clarified. We'll do that in January.
I think they're wrong.
Twenty-three votes. See you wait for us. It was down at 20. You know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, I would know.
I've reinvigorated him since I.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the chairman's way.
Right.
I said the same thing. That was the point. All right. All right, so while they're tabulating, that, once again, couple other things, under miscellaneous, all right, and I will. As I mentioned to the executive board, also, I have been attending, on and off, once again, for months and stuff, fire commission meeting, and as I had brought up last year and stuff, working to establish an EMS memorial here in the county and stuff for our providers, with that. At this point, once again, I've worked with the past chairman of the commission as well as the current chairman. I'm still trying to figure out exactly where they are. They need to replace theirs. And I had floated the idea of, once again, a combined first responder, fire and EMS memorial be placed over similar to where the fire memorial is in Eisenhower Park. And been kind of non-committal at this point. They are interested, but they have a committee and stuff that has not been able to meet with me and all. Jill Levisfeld, once again, and a couple of other people have expressed interest, stuff in helping out. I am working with H2M, once again, I've been in contact with an architect over there, they were kind of happy to know. And he's willing to once again sit down with us and look at designs so that we can look at what the cost funding and stuff would be to establish that type of a memorial for funding purposes. We have the site. I'd already contacted a year and a half ago, the county, and they offered a site and stuff over there. I'm gonna continue to work with the fire commission to see. I figured, once again, I'll start moving the ball forward and see if they jump on board. It can always be expanded as needed, but I think it's time that we once again be recognized. As we do have memorials throughout Nassau County for just about every other person and stuff, other than our own agencies. So I will look to convene a meeting and stuff prior to January. I will consult with naturally the executive board and see if we can come up with some sort of design, see if we can come up with a funding. He's already sent me some designs that they've done in the past for both 9/11 memorials and other things for fire districts. And see if we can get that started. Hopefully, once again, maybe be finished by EMS week of next year, 2025. So that's pretty much everything that I can think of. As I said to the executive committee, thank you for all of your hard work, for your assistance, getting through this. And once again, I will continue to remain on the council and be an assistant to the executive board as needed and stuff with that. And I say, good luck. Thank you. That's all I have. Also, we had a new member once again to bring up.
Yes, that's correct. Jennifer Mandel, who takes on the seat for the Nassau Suffolk Hospital Council to replace Stephen Monty.
Okay, Jennifer, you're,
Jennifer, right here.
Oh,
There she is. Hi.
okay.
Thank you.
So Jennifer's in the back once again, so she'll be here representing the hospital council and stuff with that. So make a motion once again that we accept Jennifer Mandel from the Nassau Suffolk Hospital Council.
I'll make something.
Second.
Okay. On the question? All in favor?
Okay.
Opposed? Good. So with that, once again, thank you for coming. Thank you for signing up. And once again, we look forward to working with you and helping us out in our mission. Okay, we'll move on to go to the council. Oh, the election results. I'm sorry. My fault. Which one? I'm trying to move too
Out
fast.
of the 22 ballots received for chairman, David Calder received 20 votes. For vice chair, Thomas Devaney received 22 votes.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right,
You're off the hook, Chuck.
I'm almost there. I was pushing too far.
Close one.
You're the close one. Anyway, go to the council. Do we have anything for the good of the council? All right, so we'll once again get back to you with the survey. We'll see. As I said, The next scheduled REMSCO council meeting as, New Year's Day falls on a Wednesday, January first. Tentatively scheduled, for Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. We'll keep it at 2 p.m. For January. I think there will be, new business required, of the new administration. The next REMAC meeting will be held, on Wednesday, December 11th. The second Wednesday, December 11th, 2:15 here at the Public Safety Center. Once again, the, first week is the state meetings, so it's been moved to the second week on that. All right, so Wednesday, December 11th. With that, once again, I would ask for a adjournment of the meeting. Second, all in favor? Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Zero.